How's it going, everybody? Ross here. If you can't tell, I'm sick. So if I don't have much energy, I'm sorry. I just finished, I literally just finished watching the Toyota Owners 400 for the NASCAR Cup Series at Richmond Raceway. They're doing the post-race show real quick before they go off the air on Fox. We'll talk about the Xfinity race first. I didn't really watch much of the Xfinity race. One funny moment was when Dawson Cram and Joey Gase, got into it. Joey Gase basically crashed out, and I just muted the TV. Joey Gase took off, after he got out of the car, he took off his bumper and threw it at Dawson Cram's car. In the 7 years I've watched NASCAR, never have I seen that before. Well, the top four were all Toyotas. Chandler Smith gets the win like he did last year in this race. Eric Almirola ends up in second. His second start of the year in the Xfinity Series, this time in the 20. Taylor Gray was in the 19. He ends up in third. Corey Heim in the 26 ends up fourth. The first non-Toyota, Jesse Love in fifth. Bubba Pollard in his Xfinity Series debut in the Junior Motorsports 88 ends up sixth. Great run for him. Parker Kligerman in seventh. Austin Hill in eighth. Sammy Smith in ninth. Cole Custer in 10th. One of the most, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, and Brandon Jones all crashed out. And then for the Cup race that I just watched, pretty disappointed, that we didn't get the finish that we did. It was an overtime finish. But what a steal by Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin did some pit strategy in the final pit stops, and he was third, but he was closing his in as best as he could on Joey Logano and Martin Truex Jr. Then the caution came out with 2 laps to go. Everybody pitted. Denny Hamlin jumped Truex and Logano on pit road, and he was able to hold off to win. Denny Hamlin, with his first win of this season, locks him into the playoffs. Great win for him. Joey Logano ends up in second. His best finish of the year. Kyle Larson, who was the reason for the caution, for the final caution, still ends up third. He got spun out from fourth by Bubba Wallace, but he didn't lose that many spots. He pitted with the leaders, ended up fourth, and finished third. Martin Truex Jr., who had this race won. Sorry, my throat hurts a lot. Martin Truex Jr. ends up fourth. You could see he was visibly frustrated. He led over half of the race and was leading with 2 laps to go when that happened. He got jumped on pit road, and according to his post-race interview, he ran wide in turn 1. So that's why he had a little beef with Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin after the checkered flag. He coming to the checkered flag, he just drove straight into Larson for no reason. Larson did what he did and put him in the wall again. Excuse me. And then they just kept bumping each other, banging each other, And then Truex was giving it to Hamlin. He was bumping him through 3 and 4 after the checkered flag. Truex was visibly pissed. This was his race to lose. I feel for him, but he's a veteran. He's not a hothead young gun like Ty Gibbs. I mean, that's the only one I can think. Or maybe Noah Gragson. But, yeah. But I know Martin. I feel so bad for Martin Truex Jr. He had that race won. Chase Elliott ends up in 5th. His best run of the year. His best run in a very, very long time. So, good. Looking good for Chase Elliott, looking back in the right direction. Christopher Bell, who got a speeding penalty, rallies back to 6th. William Byron in 7th. The RFK boys, Brad Keselowski in 8th. Chris Buescher in 9th. Tyler Reddick ends up in 10th. 11th place is Josh Berry, who drove from 30th to 3rd on the first half of this race. And then just things didn't go his way in the second half. He ends up 11th. But a great run for Josh Berry. We all know he's a good short track racer. He'll definitely be in contention, like again next week at Martinsville. Spire was never really was dead. Carson Christopher was never with Corey LaJoy and Zane Smith all finished probably dead last. The two calling cars were terrible. Daniel Hemrick and Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon was in the 16 this weekend. That's what happens when calling chooses two mid to bad drivers. What are you going to do? But with the integrity of the pit strategies, there's Richmond, since the short track package is so shitty, for Richmond, at least we have to rely on pit strategies for intriguing stuff. So, luckily, we did see that tonight. And, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. The Cup Series, I believe Xfinity and Trucks are all headed to another short track next weekend at Martinsville. The truck races at Martinsville are always pretty crazy, but I'm hoping that we see actual passing. Well, who knows? This is Ross Belkin signing off. Hopefully I feel better soon. And, yeah, see you next time. Have a good night, everybody.